She's asleep, lying perfectly still, and then out of nowhere her body starts jolting like someone is physically shaking her. There's no one near her. It's like something invisible is trying to wake her up, but the movements are too violent, too unnatural. Seconds later, the camera catches her lifting her head like she's about to scream, but her eyes never open. It's as if she's trapped in a nightmare while her body is being pulled in and out of control. The sound in the room is completely silent, but you can almost feel the static in the air. Then there's the guy. He's lying in bed, fully awake, scrolling on his phone, when suddenly his legs start sliding across the sheets. At first it's slow, like he doesn't even notice, but then it gets faster. His phone drops. He grabs a headboard and you can see the panic in his face as his body is dragged halfway down the bed by something that isn't there. He's not asleep. He's not dreaming. He's wide awake. Another clip shows a woman sitting up in bed in the middle of the night. She doesn't move like a person. Her spine bends back, her arms jerk in broken motions, and her head tilts sharply as though someone else is controlling her. It's not sleepwalking. It's something darker, because her breathing is so heavy it almost sounds like growling, and then suddenly she slams back down on the mattress as if pushed by a force. But the most disturbing part comes later. She's fast asleep, her body completely still, and then without warning her chest lifts off the bed. Her back arches, her arms hang loosely in the air, and for a few seconds she's suspended like she's being pulled upward by something unseen. The camera shakes. You can hear the person recording whispering in disbelief, and then her body slams back on the bed with a force that makes the entire frame shudder. Right after that impact, the lights in the room flicker. At first, it seems like a normal power issue, but if you watch closely, every time her body twitches, the bulb above her bed dims and sinks, like her movements are draining the energy out of the room. The shadows on the walls start shifting in directions that don't match the light source. You can see a tall, distorted shape forming behind her, and yet there's nothing there when the camera pans back. In another recording, a guy sets up his phone because he claims he kept waking up with scratches on his arms. Around 3:07 a.m., he's tossed onto his side with so much force it looks staged. But then you notice something chilling. His blanket doesn't just slide off. It's ripped away, flying across the room and landing against a wall, like it was yanked by human hands. The man's reaction isn't just fear, it's pure disbelief. He sits frozen, staring at the corner of the room, whispering to himself, and then suddenly screams before the camera cuts out. And then there's the girl who starts sleepwalking, except it isn't really walking. She stands up on her bed, her head tilted completely backward, her hair hanging in a way that hides her face. She starts whispering something in a language that doesn't even sound human. The audio distorts, as if the camera itself is glitching, but you can make out fragments of words that don't belong to any language. Her body moves stiffly, like a puppet being pulled by strings. Then, just as suddenly, she drops to the floor in silence, as if nothing happened. The footage that shocked me the most was from a family who claimed their daughter was being haunted. At exactly 2:59 a.m., the child is asleep when her stuffed toys around the bed start shifting positions one by one. None of the adults are in the room. First, a teddy bear turns its head. Then another slides closer to her pillow. Finally, the largest one, nearly her size, topples onto her chest as if pinning her down. You can see her tiny hands trying to push it away while she's still sleeping. And then her entire body is dragged toward the edge of the bed before the parents rush in and the recording stops. Every single one of these clips shares the same detail. The time. It's always between 3 o'clock and 3:15 a.m., the so-called dead hour. No matter who it is, no matter where they are, the events begin almost on the dot. And the scariest part is, none of them remember what happened the next morning. One of the strangest recordings came from a security camera inside a small apartment in Chicago. The guy had been complaining about sleep paralysis almost every night, so he set up cameras facing both his bed and the living room. Around 3:04 a.m., he goes completely stiff, eyes open, body frozen. His chest rises and falls violently. like he's struggling just to breathe. Then, from the corner of the footage, you see his bedroom door slowly creak open. What's terrifying isn't just that the door moves on its own, it's the reflection. In the mirror across from the bed, a figure steps into the room, tall and thin, but in the actual doorway there's nothing. His body suddenly jerks sideways, like something grabbed him, and then the video glitches for a full 3 seconds before resuming. Another clip, from a house in Texas, shows a teenager filming herself because she swore her bed shook every night. At first, the video is just her laughing nervously at the camera, saying nothing ever happens when she records. But then the mattress begins to tremble, subtle at first, then violently, tossing her phone to the floor. The last thing you hear before it cuts out is her screaming, but not in fear, in pain, like something clawed at her. Later, when her parents uploaded the footage, they showed fresh scratches down her legs, deep enough to bleed. One of the eeriest cases came from a couple who recorded themselves for a full month. For weeks, nothing happened. Then, on the 21st night, the husband is lifted off bed, not dragged, lifted. His body floats several inches into the air while his wife sleeps undisturbed beside him. His arms dangle helplessly. His head twists as though he's choking on something. And then he's dropped onto the mattress so hard the frame cracks. When they checked the footage the next day, he had no memory of it, but the bruises across his shoulders told a different story. Even stranger the sounds that sometimes accompany these events. In one video, right before the attack begins, the audio picks up a low humming, almost mechanical, mixed with whispers that overlap each other. When slowed down, you can faintly hear a phrase repeating over and over. Wake up. In another, a girl sleeping alone is jolted awake by a loud bang. But the video shows every object in her room shaking at the exact same moment, as if the walls themselves were alive. The more these clips circulate, the more patterns people start noticing. Almost all of them show temperature drops. You can see the breath of the people sleeping, even though their homes aren't cold enough for that to happen. Pets react too. Dogs barking at empty corners, cats hissing at the ceiling, birds frantically flapping inside cages. It's as if the animals can see what the cameras barely manage to capture. And the longer you watch, the more impossible it is to ignore the detail no one can explain. Every single victim shows signs of physical exhaustion the next morning. Heavy-eye bags, dizziness, scratches, even nosebleeds. It's as if whatever happens at 3 a.m. doesn't just disturb their sleep. It feeds on it.